Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The sun had barely crept above the London skyline when the familiar jingle of Good Morning Britain filled living rooms across the country. The hosts, Susanna Reid and Richard Madeley, were armed with their usual blend of politeness and provocation, ready for another political showdown. But no one, not even Sir Keir Starmer himself, was prepared for the storm that was about to unfold live on national television. Dressed sharply in a navy suit, Starmer settled into his chair with the confidence of a man who had weathered 1,000 interviews. Labour was ahead in the polls. The Tories were in disarray. The general election loomed. Victory seemed within reach. But politics is rarely kind to the complacent. The segment began smoothly. Starmer smiled, nodded, and delivered his well-rehearsed lines about working people, a better Britain, and renewed hope. But then came the ambush. Susanna Reid, never one to pull punches, leaned forward and asked the question that would flip the morning on its head. Sir Keir, in 2020, you promised you wouldn't raise taxes on working people, but your new manifesto includes several stealth taxes. Doesn't it? Starmer blinked. Well, Susanna, what we're doing is asking those with the broadest shoulders to... No, sorry, the council tax freeze is gone. You've U-turned on national insurance, and now there are reports you're looking at fuel duty increases? That's not broad shoulders, that's every driver in Britain. The air stiffened. Viewers at home paused mid-toast. Starmer stammered slightly, searching for the right words, but what followed was a muddle of jargon and generalities. Richard Madeley pounced, his tone playfully brutal. So you did lie, just more elegantly than the last lot? It was a horror show. Twitter, or X, as it was now called, exploded. Clips of the interview rocketed across social media under the hashtag #StarmerMeltdown. Memes poured in. Starmer as a deer in headlights. Starmer being grilled on a literal barbecue. Even one of him phoning Rishi Sunak for PR tips. In Westminster, Tory MPs rubbed their hands with glee. Backbenchers who had resigned themselves to electoral annihilation suddenly found hope. He's not ready, a jubilant Conservative strategist told The Telegraph. He's just not ready. By noon, every news channel was replaying the now infamous segment. Pundits dissected his body language. Vocal coaches critiqued his hesitations. Satirists sharpened their pens. The once dull leader had made headlines, just not the ones he wanted. Inside Labour HQ, aides scrambled to contain the fallout. Crisis meetings were called, damage control strategies drafted. One junior aide was overheard whispering, "We just handed the Tories their campaign slogan." But Starmer, ever the stoic, didn't flinch publicly. That evening, he appeared at a rally in Manchester, his voice steadier, his resolve hardened. They want to talk about one bad interview, but I want to talk about your bills, your hospitals, your future. This election isn't a game show. It's about who's fit to lead. It was a clever pivot, but the damage had been done. For the first time in months, the media had something else to chew on besides Tory blunders. And the public, fickle and always hungry for spectacle, had found a new talking point. The horror show on Good Morning Britain would be remembered as a turning point, not necessarily the end of Starmer's rise, but a stark reminder that in the brutal theater of British politics, one morning can change everything. And in the war for number 10, even breakfast can bite.